Okay. I forgot that I pressed live on YouTube and Twitch. You're all gonna watch me set up because there was an issue. For some reason, my Go XLR stopped working, and then it froze my whole computer. Right as I was ready to go live. It's been freezing a lot, but it's not a Go XLR issue. It's a cable issue. The cable that I'm using to plug into my Go XLR is not working. It's I think the cable's just broken, so it does false connections, and because of that, it freezes my Go XLR as I'm setting up when I move things around. So that's kind of what happened. So I apologize. Okay, I think I'm live on TikTok now, so that's set up. I gotta check everything else. This is the frustrating part. I'm sorry, everybody. Is YouTube doing what I want? Is this okay? This is working? Okay, my channel. I am live on YouTube. Good. Edit my video. I'm a little bit late. I apologize. That was partially due to the issue and partially due to just me always being a little bit late, because apparently I just cannot be ready by 12:30. I just can't. I was up at 11:30 and I showered and everything, and still late. Still late. Just can't seem to be on time for some reason. I don't know why. It's just something that's going on. Okay. My channel. Okay, everything seems to be good. So that's working. How's Twitch doing? Twitch seems to be working. Restream seems to be working. Is Twitch on the right name? That's the real question. That's the real important thing. Elden Ring. Okay, it seems like we're good on Twitch as well. So I hope that that's fine. Okay. Apparently I'm connected to the Twitchfinity or Tickfinity thing. That never works for me. I wish there was a way for me to contact those people and be like, hey, your thing is trash and isn't working. Help me. Help me make it not trash. Ark, how you doing, man? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Hope life is treating you okay, man. Let me just get TikTok's chat up on screen just as a secondary, just in case, because for some reason it just disconnects. Tickfinity just disconnects and then I can't see it. So let me go back to that tab, because maybe that's why it keeps disconnecting, but we'll see. There, and then there. So now I can see the chats, and hopefully that'll be good enough. I don't know. Okay, seems like we're good. Yeah, so this is kind of how we are. Things are good. I think we're getting started, so we can just go. Oh crap, we can just go ahead and do that, and let's go to gameplay. And of course gameplay is not... Oh, there it is. Okay. Sometimes gameplay just doesn't load up and I don't know why. Dark, I'm doing really well. How are you doing? How are things going? How's life? Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good to get started. So let's do this. I haven't played this in a while. You know, it's been quite a few days. I don't remember what we were doing. I think we were just kind of wandering around. We had tried fighting those dark horse guys. And I don't remember what else we were doing, so we're just going to continue. I haven't played it privately or anything in a while, so yeah, I haven't explored to see where I'm supposed to be going or what I'm supposed to be doing or whatever. Oh. Need to set an alarm because I know me and I'm going to forget. You're doing great? Nice. I'm glad. How's your week going so far? Today is my Friday. I got one more day tonight and then I'm off for 2 days. Okay. Hey Siri, set an alarm for 2:30. Of course my watch is locked, so it didn't work. But my phone did it. That's all that matters. If you own an Apple Watch, don't buy the cheap screen protector case things. They're useless. I bought a kit of like 12 of them. And I've broken 3 of them. By literally just like, I was grabbing something from underneath one of the machines at work, and just by grabbing it and it touching the floor, it broke, like it shattered. And this one is broken, but the break is really little, so I'm not too worried about it. But the touch sensitivity on it is garbage. Like I have to like tap it 50 times for it to register what I'm trying to do. And I see it highlight, so it knows I'm pressing it. It just won't register it. Stupid monitor, or stupid protector. It's Tuesday. Yeah, no, it's Tuesday for the whole world, but I have Wednesday, Thursday off. I work on the weekends, so the weekend isn't really a weekend for me. It's just the regular day of the week. I did not see that they announced DLC for Elden Ring. Oh god. I can barely handle the game as it is. I can't even imagine trying to do some DLC. That's gonna be nuts. That's gonna be nuts. Okay. Did I grabbed a seal thing. Is that... No, I went through the seal. The first time. I guess this seal gets me... Ooh. Oh no, this is the seal that I came from. Whoa, who are you? You weren't here the last time. Were you here last time? No, this is a different place. This is a different place.
Please, I can read them. Your finger.
Oh, you want my fingers? You're that uncomfortable lady. Shadow of the Erd Tree. Oh, this is gonna be good. Oh, that's exciting. That's really exciting. Yeah, don't say anything, Dee Dee. Don't say anything. Let me get shocked and surprised. Unless I do it and I miss it, then go ahead and clarify. Because sometimes I do just like miss things. That's really like unsettling but beautiful. You know what I mean? Armin, hello! How are you, man? How's life? Catch any fraudsters lately? Arrest 5 million people, become a superhero? Oh no. What is that guy? Wow, I like his armor. Or her armor. Dude, I like your armor. Where did you go? No, wait, I just want to ask you where you got your armor. I'm not going to steal yours. Alright, you want to do this? Let's do it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You want to do this? Let's do it. Let's tangle. Hey, Nikki. How are you? How are things going? Not this week. Feels weird being a veteran. Oh, man. It's so weird. Like... You were in school for so long. You were in school for a really long time. So it's weird for me to think of you as somebody not in school anymore and like full-blown professional doing adult stuff. It's, ah, man, time goes by so fast. Time goes by way too quick. It's unsettling. Oh, crap. What level is my weapon? I haven't leveled it up at all. I haven't leveled it up at all. I really should. I actually meant to. You know what? Maybe I should after this. I'm either gonna die or I'm not. And if I do die... Oh god, there's so many of them. Oh god! Go, 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 run! I pushed the wrong button! Run away! I just learned about that recently. That should tell you how good I am at remembering the mechanics of this game. Oh. I didn't even light this thing. Okay. We're good. Let's, let me just teleport to this thing over here. Maybe I can level it up. Maybe. Because I tried to a few weeks back, and I didn't have the right... whatever it's called, and then I just never went back to do it. So probably a good plan to try. Who are you? Who are you? Hold on, something's wrong. I got the alert on my watch. I got the alert on my watch. Why didn't it? Ah. The audio's on the wrong setting. Now it's on the right setting. Now it's on the right setting. Hold on. Hold on. So Windows used to have the ability, I don't know what happened, but it used to have the ability that when I would use my Oculus, it would switch to the Oculus audio, and when I was done with my Oculus, it would switch back to whatever audio setting I had before. And it switched to my Oculus setting and didn't switch back. And so the audio played, but my Oculus isn't even plugged in, so it didn't even actually... Oh my god!
So nice we have to do it twice.
I was in the process of opening up the Restream or the Streamlabs thing, okay? I was in the process of opening up the Streamlabs thing, all right? To set that off. Of course it logged me out of Streamlabs. It just had to. It couldn't just log me in and keep me logged in. For some reason, all of my accounts logged me out. I don't know if that's an Apple thing, that it like forces everything to log you out like once a month. That was good. That was really good. I'm not even looking at chat right now. Give me a second. And then here's the first one that you did.
Talk about unsettling.
Oh, okay. You know that it's so loud and like startling that even if I know I'm pressing it and I'm going to make it happen, it still freaks me out. Thank you, Armin. Thank you. Oh man, she does look like the Emerald Herald. That's why I walked up to her, because I don't know what was going on. Oh, DD, my favorite Dark Souls game is actually Dark Souls 2. It's the one that everybody dislikes, but it's my favorite one. I know that it's broken. I know that it's like not broken, but different enough that people don't like it. But I really like it. Oh, Armin. Jeez. Yeah, I don't get jump scares as much anymore, only because my schedule has been really a mess. I stream on a really weird time for my horror games now, and for people in Europe, it's like early in the morning. Like I think I start at like 4 in the morning for people in Europe, so nobody's really around at that time. And then the American viewers, the ones that did follow me from beforehand, they don't know that I'm live at that time, so they don't ever really catch the stream either. So usually when I do a horror stream, it's a lot less jump scares, it's a lot less active. So, and then people don't really think about jump scares when it comes to Dark Souls and stuff. So it's definitely something that's been missing in the streams for sure. Yes, Armin, and I think Sekiro Shadows died twice. Is that the one? I think that's the one. Is that the one? I think that's the one that also is part of that realm. It was made by these guys. But it's, I want to say it's Japanese inspired. I think it's Japanese inspired. I haven't played it, so I can't really tell you. That was the first one to add more like traversal, like jumping and stuff into the system. But those are the mainline ones that they made. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, Souls-like is now just a category on its own. Like, I know there's Lords of the Fallen, I think is what that's called. That was another one, but that not by these guys. That was one that was of the same genre. And there's... Oh, there's another one with like a white guy in like feudal Japan style. I don't remember what that one's called. I tried that one. That one was okay. It wasn't as polished, but I thought it was pretty decent. And then there's one more, but I can't remember what it is. Never finished it. Me neither. I played a bit of it and I never finished it. Never ever finished it. I think so too, The Dark. I think Dark Souls 2 is underrated. I really liked Dark Souls 2. It was my first one. So I think nostalgia is a big part of it for me, but that was my very first one and I loved it. Oh, Grey Hemp. I haven't even beaten this game yet. So I've only officially beaten 2 bosses. 3, because I guess 1 was an optional boss. I've only beaten 3 bosses. And so far, I actually struggled, but this is why. Let me finish before you like think, oh my god, what a noob, what an idiot. I mean, I am a noob and an idiot, but this before you think that because of this. I actually struggled the most with Margit, but here's the but. My big but. I struggled because I hadn't leveled up. I tried to take on Margit at like level 6 or 7, I think. Level 7. And it was with like the base club not leveled up or anything. So like I was way underpowered while fighting Margit. I got really close twice and then I died a whole bunch of other times. So then I spent some time leveling up. And then I screwed up and picked the wrong file because I had my own private file going and I had leveled that up a whole bunch. And then I picked the wrong file and played with the private file, which was much more overpowered. So then I beat Margit pretty easily. And then I beat the guy at the other side of the castle. Still struggled a little bit, but not as much as Margit, but I was way underpowered, so that's my excuse. Oh, man. You nearly threw your phone at the wall. Why? Hello, Gina. Hello, Seven. Ghost of Tsushima. How are you? I was level 7. Was thinking of you. But yeah, I mean, I actually thought Lords of the Fallen was a very pretty game. For its time, it was a very nice looking game, especially because Dark Souls was really like the only other thing that was like it at the time. And Dark Souls really, graphically, like this is pretty, but I mean, look at the models. They're not that great, right? I mean, this is medium settings. I don't have it turned up too high. I want to kind of give the best frame rate I can to the stream. But like, it's not... Like, you compare this to something like God of War or the new Horizon. This looks almost like the end of last gen, not so much mid this gen. Still very pretty, but not great. But it's because they have so many other things they have to work on, right? Like they want to make sure the mechanics are good. They want to make sure the world is well done and that the AI works well. So obviously graphics kind of aren't as important as the overall feel and theme of the game. But Soulsborne games have always kind of been like that. They've always kind of lacked graphically in comparison to other games because they just have so much more going on that it would be too much restraint. Lords of the Fallen I thought was really pretty. For its time, it was such a good looking game. And I played it for a few hours. I think I put like 6 or 7 hours into the story and then I just never beat it. I kind of lost interest and never went back. Macrotone, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to the Retro Squad. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the channel. Tyler Paul, how you doing? How are things going? Oh, the jump scare. I don't know if you saw the video, DD. I did a video. I posted a video about a month ago of a jump scare. So I have these lights. Oh no, you can't see it on the scene. There's a light back there. You can kind of see it reflecting off the screen back there. But it's like a big square light. It's very similar to the Elgato stream lights. They're bigger, and they're not connected to my computer. They're just wirelessly remote. Like they have these kind of remotes, so I can control the brightness and the color and all that on them. Anyways, but when I bought them with small tripods to put on my desk, so they could, because I used to have them both in front of me. I never had anything behind me before. But they took up a lot of space, so I had closed the legs off a little bit too much for how big the lights were. And one time I had a jump scare, and I jumped so hard, I smacked the bottom of the desk with my knees, shook the whole desk, and knocked over the lights. And then with knocking it over, I cut the clip off after that. But in real life, when I did that, I was in pitch black for a while. I actually ended up unplugging my monitor. I unplugged my camera. Like I unplugged a bunch of stuff because it fell over and landed on everything because I got so friggin' scared. Jump scares get me big time. Oh, you're Graham from TikTok. Hello. Well, I appreciate you coming over. I was about to vacuum. I wish I had that. I wish I could put that filter on 24/7. Imagine. That'd be so beautiful. I'm really tired right now. I didn't sleep well. I got a phone call at 10 in the morning from the pharmacy and they woke me up. I know 10 in the morning seems late for everybody else, but I work night shift. And I had only been sleeping for like 4 hours when they called. And then I was up. I have to be up at around 11:30 to even try to make it on time for the stream. So they called me at 10 in the morning and then I woke up at 11 and I just couldn't get back to sleep. So I slept about I woke up at 10 in the morning, didn't fall asleep till about 10:45, woke up at 11:30. So I slept maybe 4.5, almost 5 hours. So I'm pretty tired. That filter would come in handy right now. I've got like the biggest bags under my eyes. But yeah, Macrotone, I appreciate you taking the time to come over here. I know some people prefer Twitch or YouTube. I'm on both. Being able to see more of the screen versus TikTok, but I know some people just like to be on TikTok, so I try to do it on both and try to make it look good on both. But I appreciate you coming over. It means a lot. Yeah, The Dark. I think Sekiro, I don't know how to say the name. I think it looks fun. I just never bought it. No reason in particular. I just never bought it. I just don't have enough soul. Runes. Okay. I think I have... Do I have some rune things? Golden rune, I have that. Okay. Is it enough? I need like 600 and something, it said? 400. Okay, I do have enough. I do have. Give me one level. Yeah, you prefer Twitch? Yeah, a lot of people do. I actually prefer Twitch to TikTok to watch streams. But it's not so much because I don't like the TikTok platform and how it looks. It's just most people that are streaming on TikTok don't have a good layout. They're either just using their Twitch, big widescreen and just shrink it down to fit, but then you have a bunch of wasted space and then the game is super tiny to see. So you miss a bunch of the little details, or they've got it set up for TikTok, but then they're ignoring TikTok. And so like, it's just not a good experience. Do you know what I mean? Or they're doing it in a way where they're like pointing their phone to the camera or to the monitor. And so like the quality isn't there. So I just don't watch on TikTok. Plus, I am not a big fan of calling out lurkers. I hate calling out lurkers, and I lurk a lot. I'm not a big fan of watching streams and being super interactive. If I'm in the mood, I'll be very, very interactive. But most of the time, I want to just lurk and not pay attention. I want to have it just kind of going in the background, listen to what they're talking about, see what they're playing, only pop in for 10 or 15 minutes. And TikTok announces every time somebody opens the stream. And it's really annoying because I don't want people knowing that I'm popping in, and Night Owl brought this up, and it's exactly what I feel. I just hadn't put words to it. Is sometimes I click it by accident and I log out and they're saying hi to me, and now I look like a dick because I didn't respond because they said hi to me, but I literally clicked it by accident. Because sometimes I'm scrolling and I'll click, or like I'm scrolling and I'll put it down, and when I go to pick it up I click and it opens up the page, and then all of a sudden it's like, Retro for the first time join, and it's like, no, I didn't want to join. I wasn't watching your stream. I just put it down because I was like wiping my butt after sitting on the toilet. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I don't want to be on your stream. Yeah, I totally TikTok while I'm pooping. All right. And so like, it's not, I hate that about TikTok live streams. But I do like the convenience. I do like that they push out live streams for people to see. So it's like, I'm torn about TikTok. I'm really torn. As a streamer, there's a lot more following that I have on TikTok, but there's a lot more financial availability on Twitch. I think I've made like $15 on TikTok in total since I've started, outside of like merchandise and stuff. And I didn't turn on my light. But on Twitch, like I have Jumpscares and people sub and gift subs and bits and all that kind of stuff. And so like it's more incentive for me to be on Twitch, because even YouTube, I don't make a lot of money on YouTube. In the last like 2 years, I think I made $130. And like 80 of those were from like when I was still streaming full time on YouTube. So like it's not an incentive to be on YouTube or TikTok because I can't really make money. Not that I'm trying to make this a living or make money off of it, but like, $15 a month, $20 a month at least helps cover some games that come out, or if I need to like update something. But TikTok, $15 for 3 years of work is kind of, you know what I mean? Hello, Deacon. How you doing? Yes, The Dark. So basically what happens is, I still don't have it. I only have a number 2. I have a number 2. I don't want a number 2. I want a number 1. When I'm on TikTok, I just feel like scrolling, but when I'm on Twitch, yeah, exactly. Exactly. When you're on TikTok, it's very much just scrolling mindlessly. On Twitch, it's more about like participating and chatting, and like it feels more natural. The chat takes up part of the screen on TikTok, so you miss part of what's on stream. That's why I tried to kind of set mine up the way that I did. It's still not perfect. I might make the gameplay a little bit smaller. I don't want to though, because then you lose a lot of detail. But that's why I put like the banner at the bottom that says what game we're playing, because that way chat is covering something that's useless and only a little bit of the gameplay instead of mostly covering gameplay or mostly covering my face. It's kind of frustrating. No worries, Deacon. No worries. I did say hello. I wanted to level up my weapon, but I don't have one of the sombering stone things. But yes, Gina, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great day. But yes, the dark. So calling out lurkers is a bad thing. Hey, Gina with the sub. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hashtag forever pretty brown eyes. Thank you. That's... It really, really, really means a lot. Oh, man. It's still a weird feeling after all these years, so I appreciate it. Yeah, like you could put on clear mode, you could turn off the chat so you don't see it. But then it almost like kills the whole point of it being a stream. You know what I mean? I get a lot of people who specifically watch me because they want to talk. Armin, whoa, Armin, dude. I'm kind of glad you have a full-time job and aren't a student anymore. Jeez. Dude. Thank you, man. Everybody hashtag Armin in the chat. That's awesome, dude. Thank you. You really didn't have to. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Okay, everybody, anytime I talk about illegal money laundering, remind me to shut my mouth about illegal money laundering, because I'm not doing it, because Armin will arrest me. So just remind me not to talk about all the illegal monies. Armin, thank you, dude. Dude, I kind of did have to. Was it really bothering you the number was off? Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Preston, how are you, man? My day is going okay. My day is going okay. I'm out of it because I woke up. Stupid pharmacy called me and woke me up like an hour before I was supposed to wake up. You know when you wake up in that deep cycle? And I fell back asleep for like half an hour, but it wasn't enough to get me out of that groggy state. So like I'm feeling really groggy right now. I'm trying to like make sense as I talk. It's almost like I'm so groggy and the ADHD pills have woken me up, but my brain still isn't keeping up with what I'm trying to say. So like I almost feel like I'm hyperactive, but my brain isn't. Does that make sense? But yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I'm so glad that rain came through to kill all that snow. I don't know if it snowed today, but oh my god, yesterday was... Ugh. By the way, if you saw my TikTok about the Hollywood complaining about the snow that they got, first of all, I'm making fun of it, but I'm not... I know that it's actually a serious thing because, you know, Hollywood's not supposed to have snow. So, of course, they don't have a system to deal with snow. And we know how the United States' power grid works. And so they're actually like... I mean, Texas is usually the bigger issue, but they're actually like in trouble with the fact that there's snow over there. Their houses aren't built for it. Ours are. Like, I could turn my heater off and go without heat all day, and it'll be cold in here, but it's fine. Hollywood is meant to keep their houses cool, and so cold weather is not going to be good for them. But I was poking fun of them because we had been hearing that we were going to get a snowstorm, but it was kind of on and off. Like, yeah, it's going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. And then, like, within the span of about half an hour to an hour, we got a ton of snow from nowhere. But then in the middle of the night, it started raining, and then it all turned into slush. It was gross, but at least it got rid of a lot of the snow. Can you see my point spread? Is this what point spread is, Deacon? I'm sorry. I don't know what point spread is. But I'm sorry. But Armin, dude, thank you. Yes, in a good way. Pineapple is my secret word, Armin. Pineapple. But yeah, it was a mess. Oh my god. It really is. It's so unpredictable. Like, you can literally go through 3 different stages in the span of a day. You could go through all seasons in a span of a day, but it's 3. Let's be serious, because like the temperature and stuff between spring and fall are pretty much the same. But yeah, like we went from like pretty decent weather the day before yesterday. You know, I was outside in just a sweater. It was cold, but it wasn't horrible. To full-blown snowstorm to full rain. And it was kind of warm again. Like it was, and the worst is when it's weather like that. For those who aren't in Canada, we get like insane weather here sometimes. But the worst part, this is why it sucks when it snows and then rains immediately because the temperature goes up, is it's now raining, so you can't roll down your windows because you're going to get all wet. But it's warm, so any moisture that accumulates starts to evaporate, and you get a bunch of condensation all over your windows, which fog up your windows. And it's so warm that you can't turn on the heater to take away the condensation on the windows because it's already too hot. But you can't roll down the windows because it's raining. But because it was cold, some of that residual coldness is still outside, and the rain is causing that coldness to kind of interfere with the warmth inside, and it causes condensation. And so either you get wet or you don't see out your front window. It sucks. It really sucks. Last night's drive was not fun. I was like sweating buckets by the time I got home because I had to have the heat on to be able to see out the window. And then, you know, 2 days later, it's completely crystal clear outside and it's beautiful and you can be outside in a t-shirt. And then 24 hours later, it's a complete snowstorm and you have to be wearing a full snowsuit. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And you drive 25 minutes down the road and it's totally different weather than what it is here. Canada's weird. Canada's weird. When around this, no, not now, but like at the end of winter, beginning and end, you have to literally like pack your whole wardrobe when you go out because it's going to be freezing cold in the morning, really hot in the afternoon, and then cold again in the evening. And so like you have to have a variety of clothing to last you throughout the day, or else you're going to be in a complete mess. It sucks. Oh man. Yeah, it's the same here. See, and I find I'm a very, very, very heavy sweater, and I heard that. I just don't know what it was. I think somebody followed. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Augie Agudo, hello. Why do we sell? I don't know, and I hate it so much. I hear it's an Ontario only thing, but I hate it so much because one, it's not saving on anything. We're just using a bunch of plastic bags. It's still wasting plastic. And two, my biggest gripe is sometimes you get those bags that aren't structurally sound, and when you go to pour the milk, it like flops over and then it just spills the milk everywhere, and even when you flip it back, it's still spilling milk and you're just making a huge mess. I hate it. I would much rather have jugs. But yes, I don't do the cold because one of the things is I'm a very heavy sweater, like a very heavy sweater, and so even with the cold air, it doesn't take away the condensation enough. Because I sweat so much, so I add to the fog. It's really bad. It's so frustrating. That's actually what happened with the hair system. I had one that's what they call, it's a thin skin. It's almost like plastic rubber mix. It's like, it's a weird plasticky thing. It's like a fake skin. But the thing is, it's not very porous, so it doesn't breathe. I would wear that and I would be like sweating buckets at work because of how much the top of my head sweats, and it couldn't evaporate, so I would overheat and start sweating. Now I've got a lace one, which is very, very breathable. I only started sweating last night, the last half hour of work, when I was getting really, really physical with the last bit that I had to do. But the rest of the night I wasn't sweating. I actually haven't been sweating like fully at work in days. I had to reapply the glue every day because I would sweat it off. And I've had to reapply my glue like every third day since I got this lace one because I don't sweat as much, or I sweat but it's evaporating. But anyways, what I'm getting at is if I do the cold air, it's not enough because of how hot I am, and I drive at night and I literally go from one job to the next, so I don't take a break. So when I'm in the car, I'm really, really hot. So it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I end up just having to open the windows and get soaked because there's nothing else I can do. Yeah, exactly. It makes sense when it goes in a dispenser or something, but at home, yeah, absolutely. I hate it. And then you have to buy that stupid little holder for the bag of milk. And then the milk like leaks into the bag, into the holder, so the holder's dirty, and then you got to clean it out all the time, and then you forget that you're cleaning it, so you go to get more milk and it's not there, and the thing is in the dishwasher, and It is, Armin. Lace and jugs. Thanks, Preston. I'm very happy with this new hair. It looks a lot more natural. I didn't feel like putting my hair up. I'm trying different stuff, you know, to be able to do different hairdos. And I know like the front fringe is really in right now, but I'm on the fence on whether I like it or not. I feel it looks messy, but I know that's kind of in. I also know that like really neat hair tends to be like an older hairdo. Not that I'm trying to look younger, but it's like I'm just trying to like see where I kind of fit in. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want to look like one of these middle-aged guys trying to act like he's 15, but I also don't want to age myself more than I already look. But I really like it. The hair isn't perfectly cut for a fringe thing. It's a little bit longer on one side just because of the style that I was using. But I like it. I really like it. Yeah, Gina, I try really hard not to expose myself to really hot temperatures and then cold temperatures and back to hot and kind of bounce back and forth. It's really hard in the wintertime because my work is so physical. I get really, really, really hot at work, and then I immediately have to go outside into the cold car and then drive for 20 minutes. And so it's like, I try really hard, but I overheat so badly. It sucks. It's a double-edged sword. Oh, man. I was like, we have bagged milk? Oh, man. Yes, Deacon. So this one's TikTok right now, and this one's Twitch right now. But actually, if I go over here, it switches. So now this one's TikTok and this one's Twitch. And this is what screws me up because this camera is actually turned sideways. So this is the full view of the camera. But if I were to zoom it in if I were to use this camera on the other side, it would actually like be like this much of my face for it to take up everything. So I've had to use the other camera for that gameplay stuff. And then on Twitch, it's the opposite problem. Because it's full widescreen and I have it set up to take up the whole screen for chatting, I have the wider camera on Twitch so they can see everything that we're doing when we're chatting. And if I were to use this camera over there, it would just be a vertical slice and then black bars on the side. So I've had to switch them. But the pain in the butt is I have to constantly look at both cameras and try to remember who I'm talking to on what side, and then look at the corresponding camera. Because there are plenty of times I'm talking to TikTok, but I'm looking over here talking to TikTok because I've been talking to this for the last 10 minutes, and then I realize I'm looking at the wrong camera the whole time. It's really frustrating. I was trying to figure out a way to get both on the same line so I can always look at the same camera, but I haven't fully figured out what I want to do and how I want it to look. So for now, I'm just kind of sticking to this. You want to see an eighth of my face? You want to see an eighth of my face? I'm lucky I'm in Western Canada, so we have jugs. My grandmother lives in Ontario, and I hate trying to use bagged milk. Yeah, it's a pain. It's such a pain. Like I've seen little jugs, but they're like the personal, like half a liter or whatever, or maybe 1 liter jugs. But when I go to the States, yeah, I see the big jugs. It doesn't make sense to me. Bagged milk just doesn't make sense. Because you have each individual bagged milk inside of a bigger bag, and then you have to buy the plastic jug to put them in, and you're still throwing out that bag anyway. And like, it's just, I hate it. And you can't reclose it. So once you open it, it's open, and it's going to go bad whether you drink it fast or not. At least with regular, like a jug milk, you can close it and maybe extend its life. I don't know if it extends it or not, but like at least it's not exposed. I don't know. Okay, let me show you, Augie. Let me show you what it would look like. Where's my camera? So if I put it over here and I add the camera, it's a scene. I think it's camera vertical, and then transform counterclockwise. So if I want it to fit, first of all, it has to go to the bottom of the list and order to the bottom. So now, oh, not the very bottom. I can move it up by 1 or 2, I think. 1, I think. Order, move up 1. There we go. There. Hold on. I can make it a little bit smaller. I can make it a little bit smaller than that, just for it to fit. Sorry, Twitch, you guys aren't seeing what I'm doing, but I'm trying to like get this camera that I'm using to fit on TikTok. But this is what you would see on TikTok. So like, it's just the top of my face. It's just like part of my face, but then it looks weird. I like it because it's a way blurrier camera. Like the background's really nice and blurry. But for it to even look half decent on TikTok, it would have to be like even smaller than that. It would have to be like this to look half decent, and then turn that one up. It would look like this, and I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I hate it, and so I do it this way. It's just easier. It just sucks for me that I have to look both sides. Exactly. I like being able to see the background. On Twitch, you don't really see the background with this setup as much, and I'm okay with it, but it's a bigger window, so they can, even though there's less of me showing, the screen is usually bigger on Twitch, so they can see more of the background just due to the size in general. Oh, man. Chadley, how are you? Hope you're doing well. I'm sorry, Seven. I'm sorry. That filter, it's changed my life. I am now full of unnecessary confidence. Oh, man. Exactly, Deacon. I can move around. I have room for activities. Only like millennials understand that one. I hated that movie, by the way. It's one of those movies that I quote once in a while, and I hated the movie, and I never actually sat and watched the whole thing because I can't stand Will Ferrell or the other guy. I can't remember his name. I can't stand either of them. I don't think they're funny. The only time I thought Will Ferrell was funny in anything was The Night at the Roxbury. I don't think he's funny in any way. Oh, and Celebrity Jeopardy. Outside of that, I don't think Will Ferrell's funny at all, even in the slightest. And I know that's a hot take, and a lot of people love Will Ferrell. They love Elf. I think Elf is one of the stupidest Christmas movies of all time, but that's for another time. Dakota, thank you. Thank you. My weekend has been good. I actually am on my Friday right now. I work... yeah, exactly, Augie. It's just my eyes. That's all you see. I work all week. I work during the weekend, so today's my Friday. I'm off tomorrow and the next day. So I'm looking forward to my weekend, which is going to be me doing the same thing I always do. There's nothing exciting going on for my weekend, but that's okay. At least I don't have to do anything. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't think he's funny. It's the same with Adam Sandler. Everybody dislikes Adam Sandler now, but they dislike him with the sense... Oh, I was in the middle of talking to these ladies to see if they sell the rune thingies. Everybody dislikes Adam Sandler, but they dislike him because they say he sold out and did a bunch of really bad movies. I never thought he was funny. Ever. Like, Happy Gilmore, I don't get why that was such a big deal. Little Nicky, I thought was the stupidest movie ever. The other one that he does, not Happy Gilmore, the Billy Madison. I just, I'm Adam Sandler. I decided to do this funny voice and I'm famous for it. Like that. That's not talent, dude. That's just like, I don't even have them on me. It's like jingling keys in front of a little kid. Like it's not actually funny. What's funny is the stupidity of an adult doing it. But it's not actually funny. I'm just not a fan of Adam Sandler. Yeah, Owen Wilson, Waterboy, another one I didn't like. Yeah, I didn't like any of his movies. I hated them. Owen Wilson, he's, you know? Like, obviously they've had way more success than me as comedy geniuses or whatever. But they're just not my cup of tea. Owen Wilson, wow. Or, I can't even do an Owen Wilson, you know? Wow. I can't do Owen Wilson, but I'm not a fan. There's a lot of comedians out there that I'm kind of like, eh. I think right now I'm going through a breakup heart pain though, because I was a big fan of George Lopez, and just finding out how toxic and garbage he is, especially to the Latino community, really heartbreaking, because to me as a Latino who was very into comedy, he was somebody that I looked up to. I'm not Mexican, but you know, there's almost nobody from El Salvador anywhere. So just seeing somebody like George Lopez be a successful comedian was inspiring to me. And then I hear how much of a trash person he is, and that's really heartbreaking. That really sucks. That really, really sucks. Wow. I can't. Wow. I don't know. Bill Burr is hit and miss with me. Sometimes I think he's really funny. Sometimes I'm not always a fan of like the really over the top obscenity. But yeah, he's got some stuff that I think is really funny. You know, it's it's just sometimes the obscenity is a bit too much for me. Not that I'm against swearing. I don't really do it on stream, but that's because I started as a family friendly channel and I know there are younger people watching and I just kind of feel uncomfortable. Rampage the Kid, thank you so much for that follow. I also used to work out in the community and I didn't want, you know, a 95-year-old woman somehow have like, or like I'm taking care of a 95-year-old woman and their child is there, you know, the 50-something-year-old, and then their kid happens to show them my stream, or they find out I stream and all they see is like, fuck this and fuck that, and then they're gonna be like, wow, that's so vulgar and you're here taking care of my mom. So I was always very like reserved on stream, but I swear a lot in my private life, like a lot. I'm just not a big fan of like really vulgar, over the top comedy. It's almost like being vulgar for the sake of being vulgar is where I just draw the line. Yeah, I prefer stand-up comedians. I also, my favorite comedy routine ever, and this guy doesn't get a lot of love, and he has said some controversial things that people aren't very happy about, and he's done a lot of really terrible movies, is John Leguizamo, the guy who did the Mario movie, who played Luigi. He used to do some really good stand-up back in like the late 90s. He did a whole thing about his life, and I could relate to a lot of it. Like growing up as a Latino, I grew up in a very poor neighborhood, but I didn't grow up in a Latino neighborhood. I grew up in a neighborhood that was mostly consistent of black and the poor white. And so like I wasn't in my own culture. And so like I was always trying to fit in with other cultures. As I got older, I hung out a lot with like Italian people, and I took on a lot of like the Italian European style persona. Then I hung out with a lot of Asians, and so it's like there was a lot of that inside of my own persona. And so like I connected a lot with John Leguizamo's stand-up because he talked about like kind of not fitting in and trying to find where he fit in. I really like him because he tells a story throughout his stand-up. It's not just like joke punchline. Instead, it's like, here's the story of my life and here's all the stupid shit that happened throughout the story. So I really like his stand-up. But yeah, there's some comedians out there that I'm just like, no. Jack Black I really like. I just don't like that he sings and everything, but that's just like a neurodivergent thing. It really bothers me hearing people sing a cappella. I don't know why, unless it's like an a cappella group. I don't like when people sing a cappella. It just, it feels like someone's like rubbing something on my nerves. I don't know why. It really bothers me. Just like it really bothers me whenever I meet somebody who says they can sing and then they just insist on having to show me they can sing. I don't want to hear you sing. Whether or not you can do it, I don't want to hear you. I know I'm a very good singer. I don't need to hear everybody else singing unless we're in the place doing it, right? Like if we're in a show or we're about to audition and you're asking for my input, then cool. But if you're just going to show me just for the sake of showing me, or you're one of those people that like need to show everybody you sing, so you like, you sing everything just for the sake to show. No, don't do that. I hate it. I hate it so much, but that's like a neurodivergent thing. Like it physically hurts me when I hear that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think Jack Black's funny. I loved him in Nacho Libre, one of his worst movies, and I loved him in it. Gilbert Gottfried is good. Wow. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop trying that one. Oh man. But yeah, like I'm pretty open to a lot of comedians, but Will Ferrell and Adam Sandler are the two that I cannot watch them. I really can't. I can't stand them. I don't think their movies are good. I think the only Adam Sandler movie that I watched from beginning to end and actually thought was really decent was Click, which was like his downfall. Like that's where he started to really go nosedive because he stopped doing the stupid funny voices and doing dumb comedies. But that was the only movie that I actually enjoyed of his. Outside of that, no enjoyment out of Adam Sandler at all. I'm not saying other people who enjoy him are stupid or wrong for liking him. It's just not my, I don't enjoy watching and then scream. That's not funny to me. That's like, I watch Wadsy. If you happen to see this, I'm sorry. I'm a big fan of yours, but there's something about, okay, I might be wrong generation labeling here, but it seems to have started with Gen Z and it's kind of moved on to Gen Alpha now that are watching a lot of YouTube and stuff, that a lot of comedy is based on distorted sound. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't just have a punchline. You have to accentuate it, but you accentuate it by having a really distorted sound. Like how can I describe it? Like it would be, I'm gonna move this so I can try to do it a little bit. So it's like it could literally be somebody being like, here's my remote, and they'll use that sound effect, but to make it funny, it'll literally be, here's my remote, and now that's funny. And it's like, how's that funny? You're just distorted, here's my remote. But then they do it for all the sound effects in the editing. So it's like every sound effect they use is incredibly loud and very distorted. And I just don't get it. And it's kind of what Adam Sandler did, is he would do that baby talk and then he would scream, and that was what was funny. And to me, that's just not funny. I just don't understand why screaming is funny or why loud distorted noises are funny. I don't get it. You never laughed at Will Ferrell? Yeah. I can move my voice too. Yeah, I mean, that's different, having like sound effects and stuff on voices, or like, you know, I do funny voices for my comedy stuff. But like the full distorted sound, I just don't understand when it would be just as funny without the distortion. I can't think of any right now, but like if you go back and watch Wadsy, he's a Minecraft video YouTuber. And he's good. He's funny. You know, he'll do a lot of really, really funny stuff, but then like he'll add sound effects for no reason. Like there's one, okay, here's something that he does. Sorry, I'll get back to the game in just a second. Here's something he does. He'll do something that's going to take a really, really long time, and he'll run it at like triple speed so it can happen quickly. And you know, and let's say he's going to mine a big hole, and you'll see him digging for 5 seconds in the video, but you could tell it took him like an hour, and he just fast forwarded it. And there's a sound effect that he uses that's a kid going. That sound effect alone would have been funny, but then he distorts it and makes it really, really loud. And I just don't understand why that's supposed to be funny when the sound on its own was funny enough. But I think it's a generational difference, because a lot of the Minecraft creators, that's what they do. They have the really loud sound effects. Or on TikTok, I'll get people that follow me, and I'll check out their channel if their name is interesting or they have like an interesting picture, and they'll have stuff put up, memes or whatever, and all of them are distorted sound effects. And I just don't get it. I don't find the comedy in it. But that's just, I think it's a generational thing. Because there are things that we did that were funny to us that other people are like, we don't get it. It wasn't funny. And we're like, yes, it was. Yes, it was. Eddie Murphy was great. Eddie Murphy was great. I don't think I've ever watched Gary Owen, and if I have, I just don't. I'm not clicking the name with the face. Him. Hello, how you doing? You like Wadsy's older videos? I like Wadsy. I was really liking his last series that he started before he took his break. He was doing where like he had set up a mod that he started with one chunk and it slowly expanded every video, and then he would work on it. It was really, really good. And then he just stopped making them. And then I looked him up on Twitter, and then he posted that he was taking a break, that he was kind of dealing with some mental health struggles because of, you know, having a large following is really hard. I have like, what? I think he's at like 4 million, something like that. So I've got, what, 4% of what he's got? I don't know. I'm bad at math with stuff like that. But yeah, I've got a very, very small number compared to him. And I feel the pressure of like trying to make sure that my stuff performs, and when it doesn't, and I've put in so much work, it really beats you up. So like I can't even imagine the pressure he's under, but I think his stuff is pretty good. Him and Mumbo Jumbo, those are my two favorite Minecraft creators. But I like building machines on Minecraft. So Mumbo Jumbo is an insane machine redstone builder. I love him. He also had a burnout, which really sucked. That's how I kind of went on to Wadsy, which really sucked. Yeah, Dakota, and that's exactly it. A lot of it is for younger kids. Hello, GSR, how you doing? How are things going, man? Yeah, a lot of it's for kids, and so they're gonna do what's funny to kids. But yeah, I find right now a lot of like between like 12 to about 17 years old, a lot of their comedy revolves around using really loud, obnoxious sounds that are distorted. And I don't grasp the comedy, but I can still enjoy, you know, the punchline or whatever outside of that. I've even considered trying to use some of those noises to see if it affects my viewership at all. Because I talk about video games and it's mostly a younger viewership that I have. You've got your license. Congratulations. Nice. Nice. That's exciting. Oh, I remember when I got my license and I finally had the freedom to drive a car. It was so good. My parents were were a little bit overbearing when I was growing up. And so like they let me use their car and stuff, but there was always like a lecture followed with me using the car, whether it had to do with like not driving safe enough or not putting enough gas in the car or driving too long. And then when I got my first car, that was mine, all mine, and I could just do whatever I wanted. It was a really weird feeling. I felt almost vulnerable because I didn't have to explain to anybody why the tank was empty or like explain to anybody why I was driving for 5 hours. It was my car. I could just do what I want. It was really cool. First try too. Nice, GSR. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, Deacon, I like stuff like that. I got into Minecraft way late. Like I just got into Minecraft about a year ago. And it was for my daughter's birthday. Like I didn't do it because I was interested in it. I actually had tried it once for like 15 minutes and I just didn't get it, didn't like it, and I quit. And never went back to it. And so it just wasn't for me. And I don't like games that don't give me a goal. So I never got into it. And then we bought Minecraft for my daughter. She doesn't really have, you know, friends to play with because she's been growing up during the pandemic, right? So like she was homeschooled for a couple of years. Then, you know, we lived in a brand new neighborhood where there were no kids for a long time. And so she's always been by herself. So when she got Minecraft for her birthday, she was playing and she was really excited and she wanted to play with somebody. And so I was like, you know what? Everything that I own is adult based, you know, zombie games and stuff like that. I'm like, I can't give a 7-year-old Dying Light to play with me and feel comfortable doing that. And so I was like, okay, I'll do the opposite. I'll get into Minecraft. And so I paid for my Microsoft Game Pass, downloaded Minecraft, and I was like, I'm gonna force myself to play it for a couple of hours to learn the mechanics, so at least I have something to play with her. Even if I hate every second of it, I'll do it for her. And then next thing I know, I'm playing for 10 hours straight in VR by myself in the middle of the night, just building stuff because I could. It was a really weird experience for me. Then I burnt out and took a break, and now I'm back into it, and now I'm not spending that long in VR because I'm streaming again, and now I have stuff to do. But like on my day off, I end up playing Minecraft all day. Like I play Minecraft all day long if I can. Yeah, it's weird. I never thought I would like Minecraft that much. You got a car about 6 months ago and you still don't have a license? Don't drive it. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. You're going to end up paying for it. My insurance rates were so bad. I was paying $1,300 a month just in insurance because I did a lot of really stupid things when I was young. They do, Dakota. It's kids will watch. Parents will let kids watch family-friendly stuff. So that's a bigger market. Kids can watch things incessantly and repeat things incessantly. So one video could be multiple watches for one child if they really like it. And advertisers would rather have a family-friendly channel because if you have your Nike shoes next to a guy who's talking about, you know, pooing on someone's chest, it's not a good look. But if some guy's playing Minecraft and doesn't swear and is super friendly and is selling Nikes, it's a good look for your company. So advertisers want you more, and people are letting more people watch it. So it's a very good deal. Downside to being kid friendly is kids grow up, and sometimes what you're doing will not be popular with the next generation of kids. It's also very hard to monetize outside of advertising with kids because like kids don't have money, and like they have their parents' money, but how often is a kid going to convince their mom and dad to buy your merch? Right? It's not an easy sell. They're not going to sub to you. They're not going to donate to you because they're kids. So it's a double-edged sword. But if you play family friendly while still kind of keeping it adult, you kind of open up the field. It's a hard balance. It's a really hard balance. But if you get in with kids, you can make a lot of money in a really short amount of time. A lot of the biggest creators are towards kids because there's just way more opportunity there as a creator, but it's way easier to burn out. You have to stay on top of it and you have to be really, really productive because kids forget about you fast. And I hadn't lived with cats. Gross. Gross. Were you able to fix it though, Augie? And yeah, $1,300 a month. $1,300 a month. Then I went down and my lowest was 180. I still had one ticket on there and it was 180. And then a month before the ticket was wiped, I got another ticket. And so then the first ticket got wiped and now I have a ticket on, but because it came on top of a second ticket, it bumped up my price higher. So even though it reduced, it didn't reduce to what it was before. So I think I'm paying, right now I'm paying I was paying 250. And then I bought my car. And my insurance company, don't ever go to BrokerLink. If you're Canadian and you're looking for insurance, don't deal with BrokerLink. They're garbage. They misquoted me. And then they blamed me for the misquote. And then when I showed them proof that it wasn't me, they blamed me for their first insurance person misquoting me and misinsuring me. If you don't know, when you buy a car, if it's financed, at least in Canada, at least in my province specifically, you have to have full liability insurance, like full coverage, because the bank owns the car, and if something happens, the bank wants coverage. So you have to have full coverage on the car. I bought a brand new Kia Soul. Yes, I know Kia. I learned my mistake. I paid for it very heavily, but I bought a Kia Soul, and I got full insurance. Then when that car died, I bought a cheap cash car, and I wanted minimal insurance, and they misquoted me, but whatever. Then that car died and I bought a used Honda Civic, but it was financed because it's only a couple years old. I bought a used Honda Civic and then they misquoted me. When they came back and gave me the proper quote, I, made a big deal about it, asked to speak to a manager. When she listened back to the audio call, she goes, well, you told her to use your old, like whatever you had in your last car. I was like, yeah. I'm like, because that was also a financed car, so it should be the same kind of coverage. And then she says, well, you should have looked into it because the first car wasn't insured properly, and that's why you were misquoted. How is that my fault that your professional doesn't know what insurance I'm supposed to have on my car and then put the wrong insurance on my car and then told the bank and the bank did nothing to stop it? How am I supposed to know? How would I know that it was wrong? Anyways, don't ever go to BrokerLink. But they misquoted me with this one. It was supposed to be $240, and then I got the first bill and it was $350. So I'm paying $350 a month right now for this car. Mind you, it's a Honda Civic, but it's got almost all the bells and whistles except for leather seats. So that brings up the price, plus the 2 speeding tickets that stacked. Now one's gone, and then hopefully in a couple of years the next one will be gone. But yeah, I'm still paying quite a bit. But I had multiple crashes. And then I think in total I've gotten 7 speeding tickets. So my insurance wasn't very good. I was actually insured with that $1,300 a month. I was insured with the only company in all of Canada that would even touch me, because I was such a high risk driver that nobody would touch me. And so that was the only company that would take me. And the only way they would take me is if I paid an insane amount of money. And the worst part is it was one of those things, because I was like, okay, then I just won't get insured and I won't have a car and I'll take the bus for a few years and wait for that to all, cool down and get off my history. And then the insurance company let me know that the only way it would go off of my insurance is by me being insured. And as long as I wasn't insured, that stayed on my record and it was paused until I got insurance again. So I had no choice but to pay that money. Insurance is such a scam. Don't go to BrokerLink. That's my information for today. Hello, we win. No worries. You're here for the last 20 minutes at least. I've talked for most of it, so don't worry. What is folklore? I haven't heard of that. I haven't, Dakota. I'm actually really, really bad for watching anime. I really like anime. I just never sit down to watch. I have a very short attention span. And so it's hard for me to watch a show consistently. I think the only one I ever watched consistently was Dragon Ball. Like that, I watched from beginning to end multiple times. But even like Sword Art Online, which is such a a fad anime, I guess. Like every person has watched that show type of thing. Even that one, I think it took me 4 or 5 attempts to actually get through everything that was available, because I would stop like halfway through and just not go back to it. Really, Augie, I'm gonna have to look into it. That sounds awesome. Yeah, Joey, I don't know. That's what they told me. I bit the bullet and dealt with it. They probably were lying to me. They're insurance companies. They just want to keep making money. But it is what it is now. I paid for it. Sorry, looking at the wrong camera. I paid for it now. It's done and over with. Now I've just got the one ticket. And I got to tell you the story about this one ticket, because it was like, I did it. I was speeding, whatever. It happened. But I'm so mad about it because I was speeding for a really good reason, and the cop admitted it was a very good reason. But, you know, it was literally the last day of the month. They have quotas to meet, so of course he wasn't going to let me go. So I used to work out in the community taking care of sick people, and I worked specifically in a farm region. I'm with a company in Ontario. I think it's all Canada. Called Freedom Mobile, which is like a very, very low-end, budget-friendly phone company. For those who are American, we have an oligopoly, whatever it's called, on our phone systems here. We have like 3 major companies, and they control everything. So we don't have like they have in the States, where they have like Cricket and like all these little tiny ones. We don't have that. And if you do find one, they have almost no coverage, and it's very, very minimal usage. So it's like, it's good if you live in your town and never plan to leave it. But I travel a lot. So I went with Freedom, which has got some pretty decent coverage, but it's not great. But anyway, the region I work in does not have a lot of coverage, because I worked right at the border, and it was all farmland. So I wouldn't see people outside of the people I was visiting. And so I was working the one night, and I fell behind because I had an emergency at work and I had to stay later. And so it's like 11:30 as I'm leaving my first client, and I start heading home. And then I get the alert on my car. It's like, hey, low on gas. And I was like, oh, crap. So I look at how many kilometers are left in my car, and it says I had like 15 kilometers. It's a 30-kilometer drive home. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to make it home. There's just no way. So I put in my map thing, nearest gas station. Turns me around and sends me back into the farm town. I was like, okay. So I head on back. I get to the first one, closed. Crap. So at this point, I've got about like 8 or 9 kilometers left. Type in another gas station, 3 kilometers away. I get there, closed. Crap. So I sit down on the side of the road, and I'm Googling to see where I can find it. And my signal is intermittent at best. So I finally find one. And I have 5 kilometers left in my gas tank. The place is 8 kilometers away. So I'm already going to drive more than what my gas tank is telling me I have. So I'm like, okay, well, there's no choice. Where else am I going to go? So I start driving, and now I end up in farmland where it's like kilometers between houses. So there's like nothing. There are no streetlights. There are no houses, and I've got 0 signal. Like we're not even like 3G. Like I've got nothing, no signal whatsoever, no bars, not roaming, empty. And so I start driving, and then the little light comes on that I'm on empty. There's nothing. And as I'm looking at the timing thing, the next gas station is 25 kilometers away, and the one that I'm heading to is closing in 5 minutes. So I do the only thing that makes sense to me. I speed up to about 115 kilometers an hour, and then I shut the car off. Like I put it in neutral, shut the car off, and just let it coast. And then when I get to like a walking pace, I turn it back on, accelerate, and do it again. Obviously, the acceleration wastes a lot of gas, but my logic was me coasting with the car off is going to make up for that gas, and more so as I'm just coasting to a stop. And as I'm doing it, a cop sees me and pulls me over. And I show him my cluster, and he sees that I've got no gas. I show him my phone. He sees I've got no signal. He sees I'm in scrubs and don't even have a winter jacket, and it's the middle of winter. This was about a year ago almost. And he's like, okay, I'll follow you to the gas station. We'll write you your ticket there. I'm like, okay. As I'm pulling into the gas station, the car shut off. Like it fully shut off. I ran out of gas. I literally had enough just to get to the gas station. And then he still gave me the ticket. And then he's like, well, I should give you a ticket for stunt driving for the speed you were going at. And I have to take your license. I have to take your car and impound it and blah, blah, blah. He's like, but I could see you were in an emergency. I'm like, so then why not just not give me the ticket? I wasn't speed driving for the sake of, being a crazy lunatic on the road. I was trying not to get stuck out in the middle of nowhere where there are no streetlights and there are no other cars or houses or anything, and have to walk outside in the middle of winter in scrubs and no winter jacket. I was literally trying to keep myself safe. He's like, yeah, no, I can't. You know, if I do that, I'll lose my job. I'm like, dude, if you haven't reported it, you're not going to lose your job. Nobody's going to know that it happened. He's like, no, I have to. And I'm like, oh my God, my insurance is going to skyrocket. He's like, no, it's going to be fine. He's like, you're not losing points or anything. No, it skyrocketed. It jumped up quite a bit immediately because my insurance was keeping an eye on me. And instantly I got the letter in the mail saying your next renewal, you're going to have an up. Anyways, I was mad. Sorry, I'm blabbering. But yeah, I was so mad. I was so mad because I was driving like an idiot. But because I was trying to stay safe because the place was closing in 5 minutes. The dude was literally outside, like shutting everything off as I was pulling up. Like, you know, pulling in like the windshield wiper fluids and stuff because they were closing down. I was literally the last customer of the night. I was so mad. I was so mad. And he could see in my license that I didn't live in that area. I lived 45 minutes away. Like I couldn't, I had no choice, but he didn't care. I'm gonna die. Oh, that was close. Okay. Future, how are you? Welcome. Yeah, it was. I was very anxious that night, Wendy. Wendy, we went. I was really, really anxious. I was panicking because I was like, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and if I get stuck out here, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do because it's gonna be a long walk before I can get anywhere. Gabriel, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to the Retro Squad. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the channel. So I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I'm gonna have to walk, and I'm gonna have to walk a really long way, and I'm not gonna knock on some farmhouse's door at midnight, being like, "Hi, I've got no gas. I'm wearing scrubs. I'm not suspicious at all." You know, bald Latino guy with a mustache. I'm not a thug. I'm here to ask for help. So I did what I thought would be the most reasonable thing to do, but I paid for it long term. I was really mad. I was really mad. Like I said, I did it. It's not like I wasn't speeding and he gave me that, or like I'm saying that the cop did something wrong. It's just he had no heart. It really upset me that he had no heart. He's like, you're going to be fine. I'm like, no, I'm not, dude. I'm telling you, I'm not going to be fine. Whoa. Holy crap. I'm a very talented storyteller. I just never shut up, but thank you. I appreciate it. Assad, I was actually, I'm a classically trained actor. That's what I studied, is storytelling. So I've gotten decent at it. Plus I stream, so I've gotten good at talking on camera. Yeah. Oh, now I'm the same way. We win. I'm the same way. Like I look at it, and as soon as it starts reaching like a quarter of a tank, I'm like, okay, I gotta get gas. I gotta get gas. Thankfully, the Honda Civic is like insanely fuel efficient, and I don't drive very far to work anymore. So like I drive to the next town over, but it's like a 15-minute drive. It's not too bad, and it's like from one major city to another major city, so there's always gas stations everywhere, and a lot of them are open really late at night, so I'm not too worried. But back then I used to drive a lot, and I was out in the middle of nowhere all the time. But now it's not a big deal. Now it's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not as worried. It really sucked though. Hello, Gina, welcome back. But it was a frustrating situation. But what can you do? I've never had luck with cars. I drove like an idiot at first, but I've also just never had luck with cars. I've only once have I gotten away with a warning. One time. Assad, thank you so much for that follow. I really appreciate that. Anybody who's watching, who's new to the channel, doesn't know anything about me, I do a variety of stuff. I actually wrote some scripts for some TikToks and shorts for YouTube. So I'm going to be posting some higher quality videos in the near future. I have one recorded, and I'm going to record a few more tomorrow to get a bunch up. I think I've got like 10 scripts written, so I should have a few videos up. Like I'm going to do them spread out, but at least I have a few preloaded at least. But yeah, I do a variety of stuff on TikTok. I do a lot of like fun facts or stream tips, kind of. I try not to concentrate on that. A lot of the stuff is stuff that everybody repeats. I'll answer questions if people ask, and that's kind of what I make my videos on when it comes to stream tips, or if I see something that really sticks out in my mind. But a lot of it's just like video game facts or like dumb stuff that's going on in my life. And as far as streams go, I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I stream, right now we're doing a lot of Elden Ring, which we didn't play a lot of today. I just kind of talked. And, oh crap. And I'm playing Dead Space, the remake. So I try to do horror stuff at least once a week because I really like being scared on stream. And that's kind of what my stream is about. And I'm live on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, all at the same time. Wrong button. Oh no! I died. I ran out of stamina and died. Was it snowing? That's gross. Oh man. Weewin, that sucks. Have I ran out of gas once. And it wasn't that I ran out of gas. I've owned 3 Honda Civics in my life. As far as like regular cars, those are probably my favorite. I really like Honda Civics. I just never bought them because their insurance rate is always really high. Because they're so easily stolen. And so I never owned Honda Civics once I got my own insurance. When I was under my parents' insurance, yeah, I had a 1991 Honda Civic hatchback. It was charcoal gray. And it was the hatchback. It was my very first car I bought. I loved that little thing. And then I crashed it. Full blown crashed it in the middle of the road. That was all me driving like an idiot, and I hit a gravel patch, and like it was right by a construction zone, and it was right at the exit of one of the construction zones, and it was a place where they would fill trucks with gravel, so there was a lot of gravel on the road, and I fishtailed and hit a wall. Nobody was hurt, but it sucked. So I lost that car. Then my brother had a Honda Civic, and then he bought another car and left me the Honda Civic, and that one was semi-souped up. It was lowered, had fancy lights in the background. The dash cluster had been changed. It was I really liked that car. That one I was driving over a bridge over Lake Ontario, and it was during a snowstorm, like a freak snowstorm. Again, working out on the road in healthcare, and I went over the bridge, and the bridge would freeze over because of the water and the cold temperature, and I hit a patch of black ice, and I fishtailed. I don't know. I'm not a very religious person, but God must have been watching out for me because I was in the left lane, and I spun 3 full 360s across all the lanes into the shoulder, and I didn't hit a single car. And it was in the middle of like heavy traffic. There were a lot of cars around, and the cars that were next to me slowed down just enough or sped up just enough for me to fit in between them all. And so I hit the wall. I totaled the back end of the car. It would have been about $3,000 to fix. The car was worth about $500 because by that point it was pretty old. It needed a bit of work. So I got rid of that car. But anyways, I got the new Honda Civic, but the one that I crashed on the bridge, that one I ran out of gas. But what happened was the gas tank was full of garbage and crap. So it had gas, but it was so filthy that the fuel pump couldn't suction the gas, so it shut off because I didn't have enough gas in it for the sludge to stay at the bottom and the clean fuel to stay at the top. That was the only time I ever ran out of gas. The only other time was at the gas station. Like as I pulled up to the fuel pump, the car shut off, and then I had to like push it the rest of the way to get it to the fuel pump. Those were the only times I ever really ran out of gas. -43, that's gross. I think the coldest we've gotten here is like -17 or something like that, Deacon. We've been really lucky here in my region when it comes to temperatures. Really lucky. Caveman model of car. Legs. I've never liked walking anywhere. I used to walk a lot. A lot. Nora bugs me about it all the time. She's like, why don't you walk anywhere, Daddy? But a big thing is that most of the time I commute to work. I've never worked in my own town nearby my place of living. I've always worked relatively far. Like I said, the last place I worked at was community healthcare, and it was the next town over, and it was right at the border. It was like a 35-minute drive, The place that I worked before that was an hour and a half drive. I've never really worked close to where I live, so I've always needed a car. And right now where I live, I'm right at the edge of my city. Like I literally live 3 houses away from the corner, and the corner is where the farms start. And then after that, it's all farmland and empty fields. I'm at the literal edge of my city. And so if I want to go anywhere, it's like a 40-minute walk anywhere or a 5-minute drive. I'd rather just drive for 5 minutes than walk for 40. But yeah, I think the furthest I ever commuted to work was a 2.5-hour drive there and 2.5-hour drive back. That really sucked. And then I got caught in a snowstorm once, and it was 5 hours to get there and 5 hours to get back. That sucked. That really sucked. You're so lucky, Deacon. Yeah, like the bridge that I went over was a highway. They call it the Skyway Bridge. It's a highway, but it's a bridge that goes over the lake. It's so scary. It's so scary. It leaves you shaken just how lucky you are that nothing happened. You know what I mean? It's freaky. It's so freaky. But yeah, no, I love my Honda Civic. Assad, I'm loving it. I've never played Ghost of Tsushima, Assad. From what I've seen, Ghost of Tsushima is faster and you can travel a lot more, you know, with the grapple hook and all that. This is almost like in between Dark Souls and that, because you can do quite a bit of traversing, but it's still more limited than Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, Tsushima, right? I don't know. I'm so bad with the name. Anyways. Oh, that's what it was. I don't know if Armin is still here. That's the one. Ghost of Tsushima is the one by these guys. Sekiro is not. I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember. Anyways, this is a very good game. If you've played any of the other Soulsborne games, you'll really like this. It's a little bit, for my way of thinking and the way I play video games, it's a little bit too open world, because I really don't know. Like right now, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of just exploring. If you like that, you're going to love this. If you really need something to kind of tell you where to go, this is a little bit of a hard buy. Once you get into it, it's really, really good. It's just the beginning is kind of aimless, so it can be a little bit hard to deal with. And it's very punishing, but it's a good game. I really like it. Sekiro's from FromSoft. Ghost of Tsushima's not. Okay, yes. I can never remember which one's which. I can see them both in my mind. I just can't remember which name goes with which game. No worries, Armin. No worries. I'm almost done anyway. I have to go pick up Nora. Yeah, there's no green arrow saying go here. There's no Lakitu coming up on a cloud picking you up when you went the wrong way. I do have a PS3, Augie. It's not one of the backwards compatible ones, the really nice ones. It's really beat up though. It's actually Alana's, and she used it a lot, but she never cleaned it, so like it's in a big mess. It overheats, but I don't really use it. I don't have a lot of PS3 games, because I never owned a PS3 when it came out. My brother had one. I never owned it. I played his, but I never owned it, so I don't have a lot of games for the PS3. But I still have my PS4 Pro. I do have that. But yes, I should get going. Wendy, that's hilarious. Buy Folklore and play it on stream. I'll have to see. I'll have to see. I had issues trying to get the PlayStation to work the last time. I played Silent Hill Downpour on it, and it was a nightmare trying to get it to work. I had a lot of issues trying to get it to work. Because the capture card that I have built into my computer for some reason doesn't like the PS3. I know the PS3 has an issue with like capturing and the protection, the copyright protection. So a lot of capture cards came with like a secondary cable to make it work. And I don't have that secondary cable, so I used to have to plug it into a different way to get it to work properly. It was a complete nightmare to get the PS3 to work. But I'll see if I can find it. It's really hard to find used games in the region I'm in. But I'll take a look. I'll see if I can find it somewhere. Anyways, I gotta get going. I gotta go pick up Nora. I'm literally ending 2 minutes early. I'm sorry I didn't play very much. I had a lot of talking to do. I will be live again on Thursday, and we'll continue with some Dead Space. I don't think I'll be live tomorrow. We'll see how I feel for tomorrow. Really late tonight. I probably won't be home till about 5 in the morning, so I don't know how I'll be feeling for a stream tomorrow morning. But maybe I'll do one tomorrow night. It kind of depends on how I feel. But yes, everybody, I gotta get going. I will be live again on Thursday night for some more Dead Space, and if this time is a good time for you and later isn't going to be good, then I will be live on Friday at the same time as today. And then we'll continue with some more Elden Ring. If I'm not live tomorrow. I don't think I will be, but if I'm not live tomorrow. I will, Armin. I will say hi from everybody. But I got to get out of here. I got adulting to do. I got to record some videos and get those up. I got to edit the one that I recorded today to get that up as soon as possible because I haven't made a good video in a while. But yeah, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate all the love and support. Armin, dude. You really didn't have to, and I really appreciate the fact that you did with the sub, so thank you. And Gina, thank you for subbing as well. Everybody else, how dare you not sub? No, I'm kidding. Everybody else, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for being here and spending time with me, even though I just chatted a lot and made almost no progress today. What else is new, right? When have I made any progress in this game? But I'll be live soon again. All right. See everybody later. Take care. Bye-bye. And I love you.